number 2 of the special guest. Today's topic will be Trump era, Allendale Strong, I-49, Overcoming Obstacles, and Poverty Part 2. I have a very special guest with me. Do you mind introducing yourself?
I'm Louis Brosek. I am co-chair of the Allendale Strong Committee, and we're just wanting to do what we got to do to keep this highway from coming through our neighborhood.
All right, that was interesting. I want to just thank you for your time for coming out today, and we're going to have a great show. Let's start with our first topic, Trump era. Have our very first question here from DeGarius Walker from Homer, Louisiana. Trump is not doing what he needs to do to make the United States better. He should be moved out of the White House. That's a very bold statement here. I totally agree with that. It just seems like ever since he became the president, he's just not doing what he needs to do. Don't get me wrong, the man just says what he wants, when he wants, then money is the root of it all, right?
Well, I'll tell you, if it hadn't been me and it was my final decision to have him in the White House, he wouldn't be there. But now, since he is in there, he is our president. Whether we want to say he is our aunt, but he is our president. What I would like for him to do is show better respect for other people than he does, even for the media. He doesn't treat them right. He dogs them out. He calls them names and what have you. But that's not the American way. That's not the way, because the media, I mean, it can be used for good and it can be used for bad. But in this case, it's for good because they're asking questions that he can't answer, and it appalls me that a man for president of the United States has the audacity to talk about people the way he does, and it doesn't make us look good as Americans. You know, we've always been the American people who were righteous and wanted to do right, whether you were Republican or Democrat. You wanted to do what was right, but he doesn't care about anything, and I still think that he failed so many ways, and one is that someone should be responsible for saying that if you're president of the United States, you should be able to give your taxes or any information. You shouldn't hide any information. And how he got away with this and how he got away with that and still getting away with it, it appalls me. It really kind of gives me a sense of thought. What are we having in our White House today for President of the United States, and still nothing's being done for all the people? Maybe some people, but not all the people.
That's a very bold statement. Because just about a few months ago, I believe he was in Germany, and when he was talking to the prime ministers and the Russian president, and how he was bashing our media, the way how he looked at him like, you want to talk about your own country media like that? Like, they gave him a funny look, like, this guy here.
That in itself is another topic to say, because of the way that he goes over to these other countries and he pushes his weight as if he's the president of their country. That's not the way that America has ever done business. We've never done business in that manner. And to be so I guess partnerish with these people, it's not right. It's not fair. It's okay to go over there, eat dinner with them, and talk about things that needs to be changed or done right. But to go over there and push your weight in their world, that's not right, and it makes you think, well, does he know them better than we think? It seems to me that he's been talking with these people long before these United States of America came along for him, so that was it on that.
Very good input. I have another question and concern here from Dorica Nickelberry from Shreveport, Louisiana. How can you get the white communities and white hate groups to end white supremacy? That's a very, very, very good question. Well, first, we have to focus on us. That's number one, because we always You said they hate groups out there. They're pretty much doing the job for them. I mean, we're killing each other. We're talking about each other. We're bringing each other down. So what you have to say about that?
Thank you, Derica Nickelberry, for that question. I don't know. I feel like I could just put my finger on racism and end it today. But I mean, as a little boy coming up in Shreveport, I was one of the ones in front of that courthouse, the Kettle Parish courthouse, and there was sheriffs with at that time they had those Tom Dooley caps on, their hats on. It was and I went to get some water at the fountain. The man said that I couldn't get out of that fountain. I had to go to the colored fountain. But little as he knew, I had gotten all the water I needed when I drank out of there. So he said, you got to go over there and use the one the colored folk use. So I kind of got discouraged about that many years ago as a little boy. And back to the question, to end racism, it's going to take everybody to on each side to come together on a common ground to say, this is what we should want. All of us should want it, And with the statue being set down at the courthouse, it tells a story of how things were, and things have changed back since then. There were slaves, and we were slaves at that time, and people were doing this and doing that, and to us, and killing us, roping us up around the trees, and killing us, cutting us, and whatever they had to do to murder us and what have you. But these times have changed, and I dare not tell you from this day forward, to not just me, I'm saying this for a lot of people, our people, that we're not going to be a slave again. So if that's what you're thinking, you better get your facts together, because I'm not going to be a slave again. And I'm going to be a human being in this nation. I'm not going to be black. I'm not going to be white. I'm going to be a human being in this country that I call America.
Wow, that's very, very good. Very awesome input. On to our next here, also from the Derica Nickelberry. What are your plans to get President Donald Trump impeached and finding someone else who qualifies for this job that can be represent the country with patriotism?
Well, I don't think that I would be the one to answer that question, but I will give you what I can on it, because it takes more than me to answer this question. It takes the whole America to bow down and say, this is what we want, this is what we need, this is what we're going to get, and Donald Trump is not the one that's going to provide us with that kind of action. We need to be able to be, say for instance, he has a job as President of the United States. He filled out an application, he filled out the forms that were supposed to have been filled out. Yet he did not finish all of his obligations as filling those papers out, especially when you don't turn in your tax papers or any other papers that might be needed or questionable to be asked. Any president should never feel threatened about that kind of action. He should be able to release those forms, and that would be that. I think that what we need to do is get together and start questioning these people that are getting into these offices. I mean, I'm talking about city council commissioners, I'm talking about governors, I'm talking about the President of the United States. We need to get more in depth in these people and let them know where they're standing. We are the people of the United States, and we want you to hear us. We don't want you to just go out there and make some decisions, credit decisions, and later on we have to pay for them. So that's to my thinking, that's really not fair to the American people.
Very, very awesome input. And they have also answered this next question: why haven't Trump been impeached? Just like you said, we as people come together, because it's up to us. You want him impeached, then is up to us. Also, how can Trump become a president when he lacks skills such as communication skills, respect for others, and seems to have no empathy or interpersonal skills? We were shown proof that his ballot was stuffed, but nothing was done about it. Ms. Jody, Shreveport, Louisiana. As you know, pretty much Hillary did win. She did win. However, Trump got the ballot. What do you think about that?
Thank you for your question, Mrs. Dottie. To me, his skills are very questionable, not only to me, but to thousands and thousands and thousands of people that can see it. I'm on Facebook pretty much every day, and I see how people are speaking on there, and they're saying that if Trump can be a president of the United States, that means that something is wrong in the system. Something went terribly wrong that night that the voters voted Hillary Clinton in for president, and then the tables turned, and when we cried out foul, he never wanted to hear it. But it seems to me it's so crazy that a man would mention in his candidacy that people would. Well, if I lose, I know it's going to be something going wrong. Well, he already painted the picture for America. Who are the people after a president is being put into office? Who are the people who say yay or nay to these people that are getting into office? And if they're questionable, why won't they do the questions that they need to do?
I'm really liking this. This is some good stuff here. Just like I said, and people that voted Trump in have the audacity to complain. You're the ones that voted him in.
Right.
So
right.
I'll move on to our last question for this subject. How can you feel safe in our own country, in your own country, when the president says broad statements threatening other countries? Also from Ms. Doty.
Thank you again, Ms. Doty, for that question. I tell you, this pretty much is into the same question almost. It's pretty much dating to the same thing.
Right.
So I say that his statements abroad is ridiculous. It makes us look so silly as Americans. And everything that he does and says, he's saying it as if we were there too, because of the president, because we're the people of the United States, and we are the ones who are putting him in office. I'm not one of the ones that put him in office. Let's make that perfectly clear. But it bothers me that he would be in there and not use great grammar when he speaks. He shouts out things as blurred out as if he was mad at the world about things, and that's just not the way to do business. I think that a professional president would never be in this way. He would never treat another country in that manner that he's doing. He's almost as if he's wanting war. You know, it's like he want a war to start or something. And with these people, with all of these missiles and this stuff that will kill you for just breathing it, you have to be careful how you talk to people. I don't think that I think that every country should be able to live righteously and do right by their people, and what they do on their side is their business. But when you're in America stands proud. We should never have had this man as president of our United States of America.
I totally agree with that. I'm going to say this, and we're going to move on to our next topic. He was speaking at a Boy Scout convention, and he made a broad statement. Who the hell wants to talk about politics at a Boy Scout convention when you are the one that you did the exact same thing? You talked about politics. You were contradicting your own words. Who the hell wants to speak about politics? That's what you did the entire time. What an idiot.
Well, I tell you, that was one of the craziest. I was right there under the television when it came on, and he made that announcement, and the children were there and everything. I was a Boy Scout. I was a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout, and to me, it went straight into my heart because I have children, and I would not want the President of the United States of America, who my children are supposed to look up to, and he says things like that's crazy to my children. I mean, it just seems to me that he's idiotic anyhow, but it seems to me that this man does a lot of these things just to I guess you'd say, kind of, I guess I go back to like Dennis Rodman when he would make people mad about things. He just say things and just he wants the publicity, yet he don't have to do that. If he would only stand righteous, he will get all of that. But he wants to think that he thinks that that's the way it's supposed to go, and somebody is in his ear, and I really believe that things are gonna. People are going to see it. I mean, they already see it. I just think that somebody is going to make an announcement, and this man has got to go. It's just got to go.
I could totally agree with you. Matter of fact, the news anchor that day, she made a very interesting statement too, and she was like, hello, you want to attack former President Barack Obama? He himself was a Boy Scout. She said the same thing. He was a Boy Scout. You want to, come on, what a stupid idiot.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy.
Our next topic, which is what you're here for, mainly, we go on to our 49 Allendale demolition and construction. We have here from Degarius Walker. What is going on? Well, first, Miss McKeon from Shreveport, Louisiana. What is going to happen to Allen Avenue in several parts of the Allendale neighborhood?
Thank you, Miss McEakin. I think that's the way to spell it. If I pronounced it wrong, please forgive me.
Good.
Well, this is what I think. That Friday, when we went to the city council, we were in the city council chambers, but it was the NLCOG meeting, the board meeting. And all of us got up from our group to announce that we were pretty fed up with what's going on. We're tired of living in our homes that we own and can't live with a love for our home because we don't know if they're going to take our home or not. We used to plant flowers and stuff. We stopped planting the flowers because we don't know what's going to go on with I-49. I know that my God does not like the way things are going. I don't think he's happy with this at all. So I know that something is going to give. And I said that to say this: as we finished saying our part of not wanting I-49 to come through our neighborhood, just as it ended, Mayor Tyler voted to go with number one. Now, mind you, she's the mayor. I respect her for that. I respect her being the mayor. But I don't respect her for that decision being so quick. I mean, we had just got through pouring our hearts out to save our neighborhood. The city council and people and the mayor and everybody else always says, people, come down and voice your opinion. We go down and voice our opinion, but there's nobody listening. How could we have anybody listening when Willie Bradford himself is our city council and he's against everything that we do?
Amen to that. And I'm glad that you said that because I saw a statement that you posted on the page. He said that you don't have a pot of, what did he say? You don't have
Let
a
me
pot
tell
of
you what he
kids
said. He told us, he says, those little bitty people in their little bitty houses in their little bitty neighborhoods don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
Wow.
I will remember that for as long as I live because that tore into my heart. That tore into my heart because Willie Bradford was a kid that grew up in Allendale. And for him to forget where he came from. When your teachers tell you all the time in school and in college and in life to never forget where you came from. And we have to forget where we came from because of these statements that are made by our public officials who are voted in and now forget where they came from. It bothers me that and that's where I say from here on out, from this day forward, I think that every person that's able to vote should be able to criticize, to contradict, or whatever it has to take to anybody that's running for office. Tell them what you want. You are the people. You work for me.
All right, that's awesome, amazing. This is a very interesting podcast once again. Next question concern here. Our 49 construction workers are taking away homes from people that live that way. I think they should do something better or put people that live there in homes and shouldn't pay to move. DeGarius Walker, Homer, Louisiana.
DeGarius, thank you for that question. Our homes was built on a structural foundation, built with love. We can't possibly live like human beings in our homes, and when I say that, because of the fact that they're saying that they're going to come across our homes with I-49, that seems to me to be very bitter. It bitters my heart. It tears me up to think that someone would do that. Now, mind you, the city gave the property to the Fuller Center for housing so that they could build all these houses. The prediction was that they were going to build at least 60 to 70 houses or more there. Yet they had to stop building because they're afraid to build anymore because they don't know what to do with this situation. Right. Mr. Jeter himself is a good man to us. We think that we think the world of him. We think that he's a good man for us in our neighborhoods, and we hope that he continues to be a good person for us. I'm just tired of how people are coming to Shreveport, buying land, and I mean, the adjudicated property, matter of fact, it was given to a lot of people. We as Allendale residents won't get anything out of it. If my house costs $100,000 or $75,000, whatever it may be, we won't get that. Because once we pay off our houses, we get the little chump change that's left over for paying off the house from the 10 years that we've been there. But the people with this adjudicated property, I have a thought in my mind that something is going on, and it's very fishy, and it's very cheesy, and we're not even in Wisconsin. But it seems to me that they have gotten to form better situations for the people in Allendale. Because right now, if you go and look at all of the property that these people have, you can go down to the courthouse and you can find out who's got the properties and everything, and you'll be able to find out yourself who's going to be able to win from this, and it won't be the residents of Allendale here in Shreveport. So please let me tell you that if there is a problem with I-49 coming across our neighborhood, it is a big problem. It's a place where when I signed the papers for my home, I thought that when I die, this is where they will take me out at. I wasn't going to buy another house. I was happy where I was. I love my neighbors and I love this community. And everybody in that neighborhood is lovable. If you give them a chance to even show you, and if you just listen to people sometimes, you'll be able to find out that they are just as genuine as you are. So please, just think about it. Did I do that one?
You did extremely well on that one. That was awesome, wonderful feedback. Again, it's like every week I pass by 220 where they're currently going through, and you don't know where they're gonna go, what they're gonna do with that thing. It's just everywhere, but it looks like it's gonna go through Allen Avenue and around from what I see.
Yeah, that's from what I see too.
I'll try our next subject, overcoming obstacles.
Can I reiterate on that?
Absolutely.
I just like to reiterate on that one. To me, I can't understand how it doesn't make sense to anybody in Shreveport. I would have loved for everybody in Shreveport to get on the bandwagon with us, to understand that we are people. We are people, and we pay our taxes. We didn't ask you to give us anything. We want to do what's right for our neighborhood, and our neighborhood is what we're fighting for. We're not fighting for Southern Trace, but we want Southern Trace to fight for us. You know, we're not fighting for Spring Lake, but we want Spring Lake to fight for us. We don't want the Broadmoor community to fight for us. To fight for us. We want to fight. We don't want to fight for them. We want them to fight for us. I messed it up a little bit. But now, I said that to say this. If they would take Interstate 220 to 3132, it's the most logical and most perfect route to take. And it's not because my house is in Allendale, but it doesn't make any sense to three and a fourth mile or whatever it is that to come across my neighborhood, to tear up a whole neighborhood, and you say that it's going to make better for the people after it goes across there. You better look at Interstate 20. I have been moved from Sewell Street off the Fairfield because of Interstate 20. We moved to the Hollywood Heights, and we had to move out of there. So let me tell you what I think when you say that it's going to be beneficial for the people in Allendale. It's going to be just like Interstate 20 did with the uptown shopping, the shopping center right off of East Texas Street, off from the Linwood Bridge there. Right. It's dead. It is dead, and you've killed it. Now you want to kill the rest of Allendale. Not only did you kill Allendale in that part, but you've taken Allen Avenue and it runs to come off of to go on to 49. But now that used to be Allen Avenue right there. But you took it and you shortened it up and made Allen Avenue over to Pier Avenue. That was to save Galilee Baptist Church. Yes, I said that, and I meant that because at that time the state representative Roy Burrell he goes to church there. Well, why wouldn't you want to take care of his church? I want to take care of my church, and I want to take care of my home. That's exactly why I'm here today. I'm telling you now that we